Hi there, I'm Clay from Naughty Boy Marine, and I just want to show you a few tips on finding leaks in your inflatable products, as well as changing inflation valves and pressure release valves. Our products are fabricated from drop stitch, and you can see through this window it's 2 layers of PVC fabric, and in between you've got thousands of polyester strands. To find leaks in your inflatables, really simple. Make sure you've got the high pressure inflation pump. You need a bit of soapy water and a sponge. I'm just going to inflate the product so it's got plenty of pressure in it. You can use a bucket of soapy water and a sponge. It's just literally spray around the product, around the seams, around the inflation valves, okay, and so forth, all the way around the product, underneath and on the top. You can see here we've found the leak, and it's around the inflation valve, and you can see here we've got something what we call cuckoo spit, and you can see that's air releasing. That'd be the same if it was around the seams or there was a puncture. So pressure release valves and inflation valves are made the same sort of way. You've got an inside and outside, okay, that's it's inside the product, and this is outside, and you see once these are combined together and screwed tight, they clamp around the material and create a tight seal. Now you can imagine with drop stitch products, you've got the inside and the outside, and with all these threads here, if you lose the inside amongst these threads, you're in real trouble here. So it's really important when we're changing the pressure release valve to keep the inside in place. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So this is the inflation valve, this is the pressure release valve. Just going to take the cap off there. Now you have keys. This is for the inflation valve. You can stick this in and you can turn it clockwise or anti-clockwise. We've also got one, you can see here, which is for the pressure release valve, and it fits over here. If you try and release these with pliers or any sort of other tools, you can actually damage the product. So the first thing you want to do is to inflate the product as fully as you possibly can to create some tension. And then all we're going to do is we're going to stick in the valve key, and we're just going to loosen it. Not fully, you can see the air coming out there, but we can sort of manage that now. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to deflate the product until the top surface is easy to push down onto the bottom surface. You can see there, this is quite a thin drop stitch piece. That's plenty. It's key here, as I mentioned before, what we don't want to do is to lose the section that's inside somewhere into this product, again because drop stitch products have all these threads, very difficult to locate. So what I'm going to do is press everything down onto the surface, and that's manually sort of connecting them both together. So I've got the new inflation valve here on the outer, and all I'm going to do is, keeping this together, is just unscrew carefully the outside. Slippery there, just carefully, and then I'm just going to hand tight the inside, making sure that it's all nice and snug and there's no crossing of the threads. The last thing I'm going to do is just re-inflate the product to give it plenty of pressure. And at this point, I'm going to use the valve key to tighten it up. And there you go. And then the best thing to do is, again, re-inflate to full, and then just test to make sure that the valve hasn't got any more cuckoo spit and it's been replaced successfully. Yeah, I just want to quickly go through sort of the leaks that you can get around pressure release valves. There's 2 types of leaks. One is when the pressure release valve isn't tight enough, and if you spray some soapy water onto it, and what you'll see bubbles around the edges, and then all it's a case of is just tightening this up and the bubbles will stop. But if you find there's bubbles coming from, once you've sprayed the soapy water, from the inside of the pressure release valve, what's happened usually is you've got some grit or some sand in there. What you can do is you can try flushing it out with fresh water from a hose. If that doesn't work, what you can do is get the inflation pump, literally wrap a chamois around it and put the hose in from the inflation pump and just blast air into the pressure release valve, and sometimes that'll free up the grit. Again, if that doesn't work, it's a case of replacing the pressure release valve. Boom. The process is exactly the same, except with the pressure release valve, you're just using a different key.